everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb and Friends here on Amazon Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We're joined by my co-host, Melissa Banks. We have Kate Thurman, as well as Stacey Thomas today, and we have a very special guest that's tuning in with us as well. We're excited to welcome actor and artist Isaiah Seward to our broadcast. We're going to talk to him not only about his extraordinary career, but also what it's been like for him to do what he loves and to share that with all of us. For those who are joining us on the Amazon platform, we have his music in our carousel. So you guys will be able to get his music while we're talking. And of course, we'll let you guys know how to be able to follow him on social media as well. We are simulcasting this, so we do want to welcome those tuning in on Instagram. So you guys already coming over there. More to cross. I'm glad to be able to see you over there. We have our YouTube audience, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X as well. If you guys have any questions or comments for Isaiah, feel free to be able to put those in the chat. But Isaiah, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to do it. And to my co-host, so glad you all could be here with us with our conversation with Isaiah. We're all going to have a chance to talk to Isaiah, but Isaiah, I'm going to turn it first over to Melissa, and then we'll continue our conversation later, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Hi, Isaiah.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm so excited to meet you. Thank you for this time. You know, I looked at some of your clips and stuff as I was preparing for today, and I looked at some old stuff, where you were looking a little younger, and so I was excited to see you. So thank you for being here. Where I'd like to start is I'm really big on the journey. That is so important to me because I look at my own journey, and there were some great things that happened. There were some things that wasn't so great. There were some times I had to go to the left when I wanted to go to the right. So I really like to look at a person's journey that get them to where they are. So when I was looking at you, your journey began with music and poetry. That's very different in my eyes from the acting. So do you feel like the poetry and music prepared you for where you are now as an actor?
I think so. Definitely music as far as the performance, because it's so close to like theater work as far as the live. You know immediately if something worked, and you know immediately if it didn't. So you know what I mean? It's and just feeling that energy of being in front of a crowd has always been like kind of similar with music. And, it helps you to not have the I guess the nerves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yes, I know what you mean. Absolutely. One of the things that that I saw in just watching you as an actor, the powerful roles that you play and how intense you are when you're playing those roles, and you just pulls you in. I absolutely love that. Has there been a role, or what role has has impacted you the most in your life?
Oh wow. This is a tough one actually. Yeah. I think that a lot of the recent work that I've done has been something that's impacted me because it's work that I've done that is based on like a project You Follow Me that I'm working on is about invisible illnesses and rheumatoid arthritis or mental health issues and things like that. But as far as like the thing that impacted me the most, I would have to say is New Amsterdam, just because I got to see people up close that were, a little bit further along in their careers and everything like that, and have been doing it for longer, and I got to learn from them. So, and every day wasn't a good day. There was a couple of club lines, and they were there to, pick me up if I had a problem or, anything that happened. So.
But thank you for that, because we have people in our journey that's there for that reason. They're there to lift you up. They're there to move you to the next step. So that's amazing. I also saw that you like to help other people as they go into their journey, and I feel like that is amazing, and that makes us who we are. So thank you again for this time, and it's such a pleasure to meet and speak with you. I feel like I know you now, even though I'm not the mean one. I'm the nice one. Don't believe that. I'm turning it over.
You go way back now.
Yeah. We're good friends now. I'm going to turn it over to Kate.
Hi, Kate.
Hey, Isaiah. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for being.
Thank you.
Okay, great. You're welcome. So guess what? I watched New Amsterdam. I'm just going to start with saying that.
That's good.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite shows. But I want to start by asking you what initially drew you to acting, and how did you land your first major role?
I actually had no intention. I mean, I played Joseph in like the play in the church when I was a kid,
Mhm.
but I really didn't have. I never thought about it as being something I would do for a living or anything. Until a little bit later on, I was actually doing live shows and stuff like that, doing concerts. And one of the other actors was like, "Hey, you should go down to Central Cast." And then I was like, "Man, I can't act. I'm not. That's not me." And I actually got lucky. I was doing background on the set of The Nick, and Steven Soderbergh's assistant director actually came around randomly and was like, we're going to have you do this because in between the shots, I'd actually bumped into Andre Holland, not knowing who he was. And I was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he was like, "We're going to do that again, but this time you're going to have a confrontation." And it ended up being my first speaking role. And I didn't know what had happened, but then I realized I need to get good at it if I'm going to do this. And I knew I liked it. And from there, it just progressed.
Wow, I love that. And with that being said, my next question, I want to go right into it. Like, how do you prepare for a major role or a major character?
Oh, there's a lot of things. First, you've got to know the script. So that's the first thing. And then you can break the script down and you actually try to figure out, for me, I try to figure out what do I have in common with the character? What do I have that's different from the character? And then try to see the world through that character's eyes. Build a character because what is he like? What's his favorite cereal? Does he eat cereal? How many sisters or brothers does he have? Ask yourself these questions and stuff like that that's not on the page, and then you kind of get to know the character yourself, and then you can show the world who that character is.
I love that. So you just dropped a gem. So for the people who want to be in acting, he just gave y'all some good information. But I'm gonna turn it over to Stacey. Thank you again, Isaiah, for being here.
All right.
Hey, Isaiah.
Hey, Stacey, what's going on?
Sweetheart, I was looking up like Melissa, Googling you, and I had seen you on TV, but I don't know. I was waiting for this little young kid to come on, but you've matured well. Okay.
Thank you.
So thank you for bringing awareness about illnesses on your platform, because I always say if you're gonna fight for something. We don't have to fight for the same thing, but fight for something or somebody. So thank you. Congratulations on all that you're doing. My first question for you is music, acting. I saw poetry in your bio. There's so much that you can do. Okay, so you started out with one thing, but then you realize now you can act. Out of all the things that you're doing, what's your passion? What's the one thing that you could do forever and never tire of?
It's probably music. Like I can tell you that. That's I can almost not remember when I didn't make music. I was making I rigged a tape deck back in the day with a broken speaker, like the subwoofer, to be a mic, because you can, if you reverse you can make it a mic. But basically I've been doing that since I was like, maybe 12, 13, me and my little brother were trying to make our little songs with a Yamaha piano.
Wow. So the gifts that you have, because obviously you may have thought that music was the gift, right? But then you got into the acting. The more you find out about yourself, the more things that you find that you can do. Is this something that you think and you inherited, or is it just like a gift that you've been given to share with people?
Well, my dad and my mom definitely take credit sometimes when I talk to them. They're like, "You got that from me," and they're right. You get certain things from them growing up. When I was a kid singing in church, or just having them sing around the house. On Saturdays I didn't even realize it, but it was always music. We're cleaning up, but there's always music going. While we're doing it, and my mom and dad would sing and stuff like that. So it was second nature. You know what I mean? And I personally think my sister's a way better singer than me. She's phenomenal. And my brother can sing too. So it's not, so I definitely think it's something you can cultivate and sharpen those tools. But it helps if you have some genetics that help you too.
That sounds good, because you know what I always say, and I'm not dismissing anybody else, but you said it. Your parents had you in church. I always say, if you can sing in a church choir, you can sing. Everything. And I'm wishing you the very best, and I'm going to pass you back to Cyrus Webb. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Stacey. Appreciate it. Thanks, all of you. I really appreciate the great questions. So, Isaiah, it's great to I wanted to do ladies first, let the ladies have a chance to be able to speak with you. You and I connected on social, and I was so impressed with your body of work. And more importantly, Isaiah, the reason why I connected with you is because of your passion. One of the songs that you have, I have it highlighted for you guys on the Amazon side, is "This Is Who I Am." You guys can be able to purchase all the music here by Isaiah Seward as we're having this conversation. What has it been like for you, Isaiah, to share yourself and who you are through the gifts that you have?
Oh, wow. I think early on, I wasn't open to actually sharing who I was and being more transparent with what, who I am and everything, because that takes vulnerability. Mm-hmm. But just as I've gotten older, I realized that by me sharing and being vulnerable about the good and the bad, it helps somebody else to realize, okay, well, it's okay for me to feel proud of who I am, and to, and to try to be most authentically myself when like the world is really telling you to be something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's such a great point. I want to say hello to Dr. Velma. She's joining us over on Facebook. She says, hello, everyone. And Lachelle Atkins, hello to you, joining us on Facebook. Have a lot of people joining us on IG as well. So, Joka, hello to you. Good to be able to see you. Hello to you. I think it's Vanessa Skin. Good to be able to see you. And Tracy O'Neill Horton, glad you can join us as well. And your music really is an interesting soundtrack, and I think empowerment anthem for a lot of people. Isaiah, I want to just share some of the titles for our audience, for those not joining us on the Amazon side, so they can be able to see. You have songs like Back on the Grind, as they can see their pressure. I mentioned the chorus of the song, This Is Who I Am. But talk to us about what it's been like for you. I mean, through, of course, the music you've released, through Blue 82 Productions, to be able to have a platform and to be able to reach people literally around the world.
Oh, that's big, because a lot of times music and the arts in general is what can drive how people see the world. I don't know if it's just me, but I can watch a film and it may make me look at the world completely differently than before I watched the film or whatever, or hear a song that makes me think about things differently. So a lot of times my music is inspirational, and I try to keep but we'll still keeping it realistic and everything like that. It's not all good, it's not all bad, but it's inspirational because I want to show people that there's something good that they can aspire to do, and you can accomplish anything if you have the dedication to doing it and the work ethic, and you get a couple breaks, because you need a couple breaks.
Yeah. One of the things I did when I was prepping for this, I read the Shout Out Atlanta interview that you did. A really good article. And one of the things you said there, of course, you were talking about Blue 82 Productions, but you also were just talking about embracing the gift. I think for a lot of people out there, Isaiah, as you know, in your industry, probably more so than in mine, is that people are so busy trying to make you the next X, Y, or Z, even, acting or even in music. What has that been like for you to embrace, as the ladies were saying, your individual nature as a creative? What has that been like for you to embrace, especially by creating your own platforms?
I think that's been its own journey in itself, is because they will tell you, okay, what is your type? And whether it's music or it's acting, it's everybody wants to know what's your type. Well, who do you sound like? Or, and I think it's sometimes difficult when you don't sound like somebody that came before you exactly, or you don't have that same I don't know, whatever it is. You're an individual, and you're a little bit different. Mm-hmm. So, but it's important to just be as close to who you are, and if you're not getting opportunities, find a way to create an opportunity. And that's the reason why I started Blue 82 with my partner and a couple other people. It's important to just to empower yourself to do something, even if other people say, okay, well, we don't want you to do this, or we're not going to cast you, or we're not going to book you for this show or whatever. You can especially in these days, you can find a way around it. Business is great for independent people, and a lot of times you'll end up working with the actual studio heads, or you'll work with the labels, and you can retain a lot more ownership, which is important.
Yeah, and to that point, I tell people, this has been a year of wows for me. And I thought about one of the posts that you made not too long ago, Isaiah, on social. When you posted your reel, you were saying this were some of your projects. Do you still have those wow moments for yourself at this point when you think about what you've been a part of, but also what you've been able to create?
I definitely look back on what I've been a part of. And a lot of times what I've been a part of comes back to help me in the future. I just recently, the Back on the Grind song is actually the title song for a television series, but I only got that because I had worked with one of the people, one of the producers 8 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, and out of the blue, he asked me, "Can you make a country song?" And I was like, "I'll give it a go," and it ended up working out. So but I'm sorry, I might have gotten off track from your question.
No, you're fine. You're fine. No, I was just asking you, about the wow moments. Looking back, do you still have those wow moments? Like you
Yeah,
like
you
you
have them.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and at that time they're doing a lot of production now with like TV production, and there's a lot of things going on in Richmond that I wish was going on when I was a kid, but there's so much more now. Like,
Yeah.
and but I never thought that I could be on TV, or I would be opening for some of the legendary artists that I got a chance to open for, or doing some of the work that I'm doing now. It's just, you have to look at it sometimes and be grateful and have that wow moment. But I want to see what happens in 5 years.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Naya presents, hello to you over there on IG. Moses Maddox, hello to you. Good to see you as well. So that you bring up a really good point, because you're now in an interesting position, Isaiah. You are building up a body of work, like I mentioned, for, as an actor, but also as an artist. But you also are showing people what's possible. You referenced that in that Atlanta article I was mentioning earlier, because you're now showing other people what they can do. I tell people all the time, I'm just a country boy, from Mississippi, who's been able to pursue my passion. What has that been like for you, that you, by example now, Isaiah, are showing other people coming behind you what they can do if they're willing to put in the work?
I actually love the influence that I can have on young actors and young artists, and I think that it's almost like a responsibility to show them like what's possible, because somebody had to show me, and and people are still showing me. So I don't think it's like a journey that has an end until you're off of this planet or whatever. But I think that it's our responsibility to help young actors come to me all the time and ask me questions that they might need. We just put together something for Rider University for young actors, and it was just advice from actors around the New York area. And I think it's something that the kids they reached out to me and everything like that, and they let me know that how impactful it was for them, things that they would have to learn by trial and error if it wasn't for somebody actually telling them. You know what I mean? And
Right.
And that's just important. It is. You never know who you inspire. You never know who you help, and you never know where they're going to be. So,
well, with so much that you've been able to do, Isaiah, what is it that you have as your goal that you can share with us, or project that you would like to be able to be a part of?
Well, the number one thing I would like to do, if I put it on my bucket list, I'm putting it out there right now. Before Eddie Murphy hangs it up, I want to work with Eddie Murphy. That's my all-time favorite entertainer. But as far as like what I would like to do is I want to do something similar to what like Tyler Perry has done, as far as like build up like a studio, and like I'm producing things now with Blue 82, but I to the point where it can be on that level where I can give people opportunities from the top to the bottom, like crew, cast, and everything, and I don't have to worry about what the check has on it. You know what I mean? I can just hand that check out to people, and I can provide opportunities like that.
Love that. Well, great conversation with you, Isaiah. So glad that you can be on with us. And I know I speak for Melissa, for Kate, as well as for Stacey when we say that we're glad that you could join us here on Cyrus Webb and Friends. Again, everyone, Isaiah Seward has been our guest. If you guys are joining us on the Amazon side, you always see the music we were just referencing there in our carousel, either on the side if you're on your phone or down below if you're on your laptop or desktop there. You can be able to just click on it, be able to get the music that's there. And Isaiah, we know you're active on social media as well. How can our audience stay connected with you?
You can find me, I think all of the social media is at Isaiah Seward 4. It's ISAIAHSEWARD, and just the number 4. Now, except for TikTok. TikTok is Isaiah.Seward, and that's it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again to you, Isaiah. So glad that you can come on the program with us, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Kate, Melissa, Stacey, thank you so much for co-hosting with us today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Loved it.
Thank you, ladies. Have a good
And
day.
we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb and Friends. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.